So I just pulled these out of the oven, and this is what they look like. So once they cool, I'm gonna put them in a large bowl and put them in the fridge. And tomorrow, like I said, I'm gonna put them in a stock pot, add a bunch of water, and just let them simmer for hours. And then I will can them, which you will need a pressure canner for that as well. So we will fill you in on that tomorrow. So good morning. So I'm starting day 2 of chicken stock. So I took all of the chicken bones and veggies and scraps of veggies and roasted them in the oven, put them in bowls, put them in the refrigerator because I couldn't get it all done that same day. So now I put 13 quarts of water in the stock pan with the veggies and scraps, and I'm just going to let them simmer and boil for hours and get all that goodness out of all the veggies and the chicken bones and all of that stuff. And then I will process it in jars. And we will be back with this third, fourth, fifth part of the saga. Okay, so my jars are currently drying in the dishwasher, so I'm going to move the pot that has been simmering for at least 3 hours. I'm going to move it over here and start straining everything out. I have a pot with a strainer with cheesecloth right there. And then I'm going to take the scraps. I have those grocery bags, plastic grocery bags lining a huge bowl. And I'm going to put the scraps in there. That way they're not sitting in my trash can inside. So just a little tip. Some people don't have trash pickup, so they prefer when they have food scraps like that to put it in the freezer until they go to the dump or whatever you guys call it. So don't need that lid anymore. So be very, very careful when you're transferring this over near your sink. There we go. So I'm going to move my canner over here and get it warming up because I don't want to put my hot jars full of hot liquid in a cold canner. So now I'm just going to take this and strain it into here. And then as this fills up with scraps, I'm going to dump it in my bowl over here because I have bones and carrot scraps and celery and onions, all kinds of good stuff. And that's all I added to this. I did not add any salt because I'm sure the rotisserie chicken had some on there. But still, if you don't add salt to your broth, you can adjust the salt in your recipes and it makes it so much easier. And then you don't have to worry about your food being overly salted. I don't add a lot of salt and pepper. I like a lot of natural spices. Well, not that salt and pepper aren't natural, but I like a lot of herbs, I should say, in my foods. So we get a lot of seasoning that way, not so much with salt and pepper, which is nice. Use my spoon rest. So now I'm going to move this over here. And then I want to hold the cheesecloth down and try to and just dump that stuff out. Put the cheesecloth back, get it positioned, and then keep going. There's only holes in the bottom, so I'm pretty much good to go with just the cheesecloth. And I could probably just omit the cheesecloth, but then you still might get fragments inside your broth. So I'm going to keep doing this until I get everything dumped out. And then I'll end up, when I get all the huge fragments out, I'll end up dumping what's left over once I use up all the juice and the broth that's left in there. and then I'll have to do it in sections because obviously this pot is way larger than this one. So I'm just going to keep doing this until, again, I'm done with all the big pieces, and then use what broth is left in this pot, this little pot, and then I'll continue working my way until this pot's completely empty. So we will be back. Okay, so now I'm going to take my jars out and start filling them with the broth that I've already skimmed through the cheesecloth. And then I'll move the pot back over and skim some more. I'm just checking the tops of the jars. I don't think I've mentioned this before, to make sure they're not chipped. One of my other jars had like a little notch on it, and it kept it from sealing last time. So little things like that can keep it from sealing. So I'm just going to take the hot liquid, pour it in here. Oh, look at that. That is so rich. That looks so yummy. Ooh, that's hot. I'm gonna have to start using a towel, I think, or keep it on the counter. I think it's an inch headspace that I need, so beautiful broth. Hey Google, how much headspace do I need when canning chicken broth?
On the website nchfp.uga.edu, they say, reheat broth to boiling and fill jars, leaving 1 inch headspace. Wipe rims of jars with a dampened clean paper towel. Chicken or turkey, place large carcass bones in a large stock pot.
Hey Google, stop. So there you have it, an inch headspace. So I'm gonna try to move this up a little bit. I don't have my camera guys here with me today. There, that's a little bit better. You can't see my head, but you can see me filling. So here we go. I'm going to start off with pints. I may or may not do quarts. It depends on how many pints I get out of here. It would be good to have a couple of quarts, but I like the versatility of pints because I can double it and get my quarts out of it, and that gets hot really fast, which is good. So I'm going to keep doing this and filling my jars, and we'll be back. Okay, so we got them in the canner, or got them all ring and banded, or lid and ringed, or however you want to call it. And now I'm just putting them in the pressure canner. And then I'm going to get my quarts in the other pressure canner. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to do 2 batches because I forgot that I had another pressure canner. So anyway, now I can do them both at the same time. So I'm going to get those in the canner and get that one going, and then get my quart jars on. Okay, so I ended up getting 19 pints and 4 quarts. Now I can only fit 18 pints in here, so that left 1 that needed to go in my quarts. And you can absolutely process those together, but you pick the longest processing time. So it takes 20 minutes at 10 pounds of pressure for pints, and 25 minutes at 10 pounds of pressure for quarts. So even though there's a pint in here, it's still going to process for 25 minutes with the quarts. So I'm going to get the lid on this pressure canner and get it venting for 10 minutes before I add the weight, or the jiggler as I called it the other day. And then when it reaches 10 pounds of pressure, I'm going to start my timer. So there we go. This one's already been going. I'm going to add the vent here in a minute. I got probably about a half to 2/3 of a pint that I'm just going to just put a lid on and put in the fridge, because I'm not going to process that. So that will be used for something. So I was wondering when I was starting this whole process if it was going to be worth it, because you have to roast the veggies and bones and everything for about 30 to 40 minutes, which I did the other day. And then you have to let it cook in the stock pot for anywhere. They suggest 4 to 24 hours. I did 3 to 4 because I am limited on time today because I've got to go get my nails done because I'm getting my bridal portraits done on Tuesday. So I didn't realize that I needed to get my nails done today because I'm getting a spray tan tomorrow, and apparently you're supposed to get your nails done before the spray tan. I don't know. All this is new to me. So I'm going to get my nails done here in about an hour. So it should be done processing by that point, and then I'll have the stove turned off, and then it will be cooling down while I'm getting my nails done and depressurizing. And so by the time I get home, it should be ready to go. So, but never ever leave your pressure canners on and you not be in the house or close by where you can monitor what's going on. So anyway, hope you enjoyed making chicken broth. This was my first time. I doubt it will be my last because that's a lot of chicken broth, and it's going to be so much better than anything I could get in the store and way cheaper. So have a good day, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button, which is the little bell. Thank you.